Before we go into connecting with our children and understanding ourselves, I want us to talk about the play as it relates to older children. So, when you're saying we need to be playful with our children, parents who have children from 0 to 6, it's quite easy. There's lots of rough and tumble. You can play hide and seek. There's so many things. But let's focus on the tween and teen years, because by the time, we must admit, by the time our children get to that age group, especially the teen years, they are locked in their rooms, they want to be with their friends, they're online. So how can we connect with the older children through play?
It's a lovely idea. Yeah. My heart, because of working with teenagers for so many years, and I still do, and I've seen it when it goes brilliantly, and I've seen it when teenagers end up really struggling. I think this tween age from sort of 8 to 12 is vital if we can, to put in ways of deeper connection with our child, so they feel more secure in themselves, they feel more confident as a person, and they feel safe to come to us and share something that might be upsetting or dangerous. Because the internet, the NSPCC in England says that the internet is the #1 threat to our children's safety. It is, you can access everything and anything online, great stuff and not so great stuff. And so I want to know, as a parent, as my children were growing up, I wanted to know that if they saw something harmful online, they would come to me, because I'd been researching keeping safe online. I read one report that said only 22% of young people will come to a parent or a carer if they've seen something harmful online. And I've seen other studies that have said about 50% of children would tell an adult. Now, to me, that was a heartbreaking statistic, to think that half of our children, if they'd seen something that was violent or harmful or shocking online, they do not feel safe enough to share it. So then they keep it locked up inside. And we know, as if we keep things inside, we suppress our emotions, it can lead to depression, it can lead to anxiety, all these things. So again, it's like playful talking can be one of it, but things like, a thumb war, holding the child's hand, a thumb war, different ways of doing a light massage or firm touch or light touch is essential for their development. Playing football outside, getting outdoors and just going for a walk with the dog is so healthy. And animals, we found as a family, getting a dog has been really good for helping our children to feel safe.
Mhm.
Sometimes your child, especially your teenager, might not want to talk to you, but they'll talk to the dog.
Yeah.
And so that's another tool, having animals, having pets.
Yes.
But it's sharing, it's going through life and sharing these experiences, and not being so stressed and so busy and caught up with life, our own careers, that we forget to pause and tune into what they need,
Mhm.
and how I can connect and build connection with that child.
So, as a parent who might be listening, yes, I want to be playful with my tween and teens. However, they prefer to be all alone, or they prefer to just hang out with their friends online. Then can I do as a parent to get that playful aspect of our lives and our relationship with our children going again? What can we do when there's a reluctance on the part of the tweens and the teens?
Yeah. Well, when they become tweens and teens, they don't it's not easy to fit to your own schedule. Their emotions and their hormones are going up and down, and maybe there might be a good time for me to connect with my child. It might not be a good time for them, or they might not feel like it.
Yeah.
And first of all, I have to be okay with that. But when they do decide to come to me, it's dropping my phone, it's putting my agenda aside, and listening and being present. I guess that would be the first thing, because sometimes my girls will suddenly open up at 10 o'clock at night and I'm tired and I want to go to sleep, but that's when they want to connect, where they feel safe enough to talk about their day or things. But the other thing is, yeah, creating environments. So suggesting a card game or coming into their world. So if they're on the PlayStation or they're playing computer games, sitting beside them and showing an interest in what they're doing. Wow, you're on level 2. Oh my goodness, how did you get that? Oh, I couldn't do that. Whoa, that was, and just really responding and saying, and maybe you can try and play with them, or just being there and appreciating them, because they get into this world that's designed to keep them there, isn't it? These games want them to keep going, and the next level and the next level. But it's coming into their world instead of going, stop that now. It's not easy, is it? If you're into something as an adult and someone just comes into your world, say, put that bit down, you need to come and help me with this.
Yeah.
They'd be like, oh. And I remember working with an amazing lady, Cynthia Crossley, who set up habits. And she was saying, when you're trying to get your child off a computer or something, then if you're saying, come off the computer and help me with this thing, or do something that's just not very appealing, why would they want to? But if we're bringing them off to do something that's playful or fun or enjoyable, or food, that's always good, then you're more likely to have a successful transition there.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, and those are some really good ideas for parents who want to connect. What about the parents who say, ah, playing with my teens and tweens, I don't have time for that. Playing is not attractive to me. Some parents have difficulty playing because it might have been associated with some childhood trauma. Maybe they grew up with parents who did not play with them, so they have no idea, and so they feel very rigid and uncomfortable getting to be so vulnerable with their tweens and teens. What can you say to those parents who struggle with that level of vulnerability with their children?
That is basically one of the number one reasons why I do what I do. Play doesn't come naturally to many, many adults because either we didn't experience play as a child, or we're so stressed or locked or traumatized from our childhood that it feels very uncomfortable. And I now work with parents on their triggers. One of the play healing pause model aspects is understanding your triggers.
Mhm.
So it's important to really do the work on ourselves so that we can be that free, lovely, safe environment for the child. So when we've experienced trauma, or we don't value something that maybe would be good to value, we can do the work on ourselves, and that can help our child. There has been, so many adults I've worked with who struggled to play as a child, and when we have worked on their trauma and helped them to regulate their autonomic nervous system and bring it to a place of homeostasis, which means a place where their body is feeling calmer and more steady, that helps them to then be able to tune into what the child needs. It's like being on two different frequencies.
Yeah.
If you're on one frequency as an adult and the child is on another frequency, you're never going to feel connected. You're never going to feel that connection. And there are thousands and thousands of parents out there who just don't really feel very connected with their tween or teen. They're just another person, or you're just an inconvenience, or you just annoy me so much, or you just clash, or there's conflict in the home. And when you can settle and tune into your child and get that connection, have fun, it can really help the whole relationship, because the young person feels more confident in themselves. So I'm loved, I'm safe, I'm secure. And the parent doesn't feel like a complete failure and full of guilt because they're feeling like this. They actually think, wow, and they get a hug, or they get some eye contact suddenly. It's some beautiful, powerful things happen.